I'm saying Fink because it's his. Oh no, it's also his last name. Okay, it's his nickname and his last name. Yeah, he was sixth in Swiss, so placed quite high, but Yura placed higher, so he got to choose to go first, and he only had Tempest Kick. Once again, we're seeing him on stream with no stage. Does he have a Doku in hand? Because that's really the card you want to see early game to slow down Aurelia as much as possible, and then chain that into Augur, or ideally, of course, Kuzan, and just ride that wave of advantage. On the other side, though, Fink is definitely happy with how he has opened. He has the double searchers, including the Nami, which is going to the buggy, which is effortlessly going to attack 5k on the following turns. So even Doku alone is not going to slow down Fink's onslaught.
Yeah, so the fact that Yura was the higher seed means that he was able to pick, and he decided to go first, that means in this matchup.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think he might be regretting the decision right about now.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like both these decks generally prefer to go second, but I guess Teach does have a pretty solid curve going first if you can manage to get something like Viven and 7-cost Teach, for example.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really know if that's exactly what you're looking for.
Honestly, I would also lean towards second just because of the power of Shiryu. And you just get to see more cards in the early game, increasing your consistency to see the stage, to see the Doku, and so on. So yeah, I didn't think about it too much, but yeah, Yura did choose to go first. I mean, no, as really, I think I pick second. Always.
It's a kind of unfamiliar matchup. Teach isn't a deck that we see too often, so Yura has more experience on the deck, so we'll trust his decision here. The 4-cost Shiryu, actually, I've basically never seen, or I don't think I've ever seen anyone in Japan use that card ever. So it takes me some time to get used to it because I just don't consider that card an option.
Yeah, that's actually a bit odd because Japan had Dofi live in the OP10, and that deck as a whole shut down Teach rather well. But Shiryu was pretty good for the Dofi matchup to take out the Teach along the way while we try to play the game. He would get bounced usually, but no, he just turned off the on plays. Yeah, I don't remember why Japan didn't play Shiryu. Like, we abused it against the weaker Dofi though without Jinbe. But okay, this is where Yura is probably just going to start getting some board advantage and hoping to find, well, Shiryu to clean out the Sanji on the spot. And that's Karibo stage, and yeah, he just found his discard for leader ability, I believe. Oh, and he had him, so yeah, he's giving Aurelia the draw, but slowing him down quite a decent bit with the 4-cost Shiryu. I need to find myself more water because I find myself like just running out of breath. Jack
especially
I know that commentator was. I'm not sure if he's referring to you or to me, but I'm glad to have you, Jack.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Shiryu really, really nice. Also, just the sort of added benefit of being 2k on plus 2k on the opponent's turn is just going to be pretty influential. Makes it very difficult to actually take that card back. You can technically get rid of it with things like the Mole Pistol, but not really the ideal target for that.
Yeah, now Aurelia is just going to try to chip in, build as much of a board, and abuse the rushers which he already has. Yura did see the Kid and Killer, so he has to be careful because if you take when he takes the third life, the Kid and Killer is, especially against the small swing, Kid and Killer is probably going to take the second, and then all it takes is like double to Never Doubt, and you're in the bin. So he's gonna have to tread carefully while Aurelia uses the time to build his board.
Yeah, that is a tricky thing about this matchup is that Rayleigh does struggle to build board, but I mean, cards like this Kid Killer and the turn before, like we saw the 3-cost Sanji, being able to establish board without necessarily relying on Sleepy that this deck has become so, I guess, Man, I can't use English anymore. I'm blanking, but very reliant on that 4-cost Luffy, not needing it in this matchup at all because it's just not going to do too much.
Yeah, I think Yu keeps seeing every stage now, but he never sees them turn 1 when they have the highest impact on finding all the pieces on curve. He has seen, I believe this is the 3rd already, and his search is showing Lafitte, and I think he's also thinking about the black hole to guarantee the kill on Kid and Killer should Fing defend it too hard.
Yeah.
I like the Lafitte, just if he can clean up both Kid Killer and the Nami, or at least basically, if the only target that Rail Leader can buff is going to attack into Lafitte, he's going to be feeling pretty good about his position. But he also kind of does have to guarantee the kill on Kid and Killer. He can do it with one Augur and Dokyu combo as well.
And oh, that's not the Van Augur. The Q combo. He goes for the Kuzung and active Lafitte. Going to use it next turn. Don't know what's in his trash to be able to potentially play off of that Kuzung, but it is going to come out rested. So.
This might be. I'm not sure if Rayleigh wants to take time with the board control, depending on his options. But we know he has a Mulligan, and that would allow him to reduce the Shiryu to 2k and pop the Lafitte, double dipping on the Mulligan value, and then swing into Shiryu for cheap. And the problem is, if you or Yura decides to free block, for example, the Nami 4k swing into 2k Shiryu, then his life is exposed to Rayleigh and Kid and Killer leader swings, and that quickly puts him in a position where To Never Doubt just closes the game. So Yura has to tread really carefully.
For sure. Yeah, Fink definitely is looking to eventually close out this game with that unblockable event. So the decision-making on this turn is going to be very crucial. If there is a timing Mole Pistol, it definitely would be on this turn, though. Active Lafitte's very enticing.
A lot of cheers in chat for Yura. I suspect most of them are from Croatian accounts supporting the defenders of the home turf. He insta-blocks with the with the Kuzan and brings out the one Augur, not leaving anything up to chance. He doesn't want to bring out Kuzan and have it die without getting to draw the card. This way, if Augur dies, at least he's gonna draw a card. If he doesn't, he's gonna help Yura assemble more of board control, and Rayleigh will be pretty much forced to ignore Augur for the remainder of the game. But this is where, if I'm Fink, I really like that Mulligan option. Like, just get a 2-for-1 deal. You don't have to attach any Don to Nami to get her to kill Shiryu, and you still get to swing face with leader. Oh, no, it's
looks like he's not going to go for it, though. Yeah, just goes face with the 5k. Insta 2k counter from Teach, going to give a little bit of information. I really like the way that Yura's messing with his Don cards. I don't know, it's satisfying to watch. But yeah, so really trying to really just keep going face, getting another 2k out of Teach. Teach now, thanks to the Karibu, does tend to run 8 2ks in the deck, but each one of these 2ks does make it a little bit easier for Really to break through later on. Still, just trying to develop board as best as he can. Likely half of this board is going to die. We don't know exactly what's in Yura's hand right now, but this Lafitte staying on the board, thankfully not due to not having used the Mole Pistol the turn before, is going to be able to start to feel his hand back a little bit and potentially make a character on the board that Fink is going to want to hit into.
I mean, I respect this. Usually, as Rayleigh, my advice in this matchup is ignore the board. Don't try to control the board because it just gives Blackbeard time. I think this was a good opportunity to get like a cheap amount of board control, because that Lafitte is going to generate a card that you... Like, Nami took a card by forcing Yura to counter, but now Lafitte just gets that card back. So, like, you didn't really gain anything from that trade, but if you used your Mulligan to kill like both the Shiryu and the Lafitte, and you still get to play out the same Oh, I guess you wouldn't play out the Nami. You would just play the Luffy because it was Adon, right?
Yeah.
That he had. Okay,
Yeah.
he would just play down the Luffy, but Yura would also have 2 bodies less, and that's 2 bodies less swinging into your Kid and Killer. No 6 Koskuzan that he just added. Okay, he just tosses it. Was that the last card in his hand?
It might be. It might have been, yeah.
Oh, that's actually a bit crazy. I think I would rather let my opponent have the on plays and play the blocker than. I don't like the sequencing at all. If this was the plan, because with the blocker at least you guarantee some resources down the line. Like this, Pink might just full commit to protecting what he has and just going for game with like the simplest of bodies, like even maybe the 2 Namis. But already,
Yeah, I mean, if you could just, yeah.
You know, if you can just protect the Kid and Killer, he's chill. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, if just one of these characters survives, basically, and he can even just manage to get Teach down to 0 life, then he can set up for lethal the next turn. Basically, regardless of what happens, Teach cannot finish the game. So it would just be up to him having enough counter, which with 0 cards in hand is going to be very difficult. But if he manages to protect the Skin Killer as well, then it is likely game as well. But doesn't manage to.
yeah, but he's now going to put Yura down to 0 and just ensure that the counters he saved by not protecting Kid and Killer, he uses to survive and then kill him with the unblockable swing. Yeah. I'm not sure about the sequence as a whole. I really would have liked that 6 Koskuzan on board just to keep generating some form of advantage and diverting Rayleigh's attention from the life, because now Rayleigh has no reason to hit the board anyways. Yet he does so anyways.
Yeah. Takes
Maybe
out the Lafitte. Oh. Doesn't just take the safe, maybe not safe, but guaranteed path of getting Teach down to 0 life. Yeah. I mean, taking the opportunity now to take back the board. And interestingly, this actually could have been done last turn with that, like the exact same sequence of the Lafitte dying and Shiryu also dying if you were to have used that Mole Pistol the turn before. But now, doing so with Teach having 0 cards left in hand, still spreading out board as best as possible. I guess that the way that he was playing around this was because he doesn't have the unblockable event in his hand quite yet. If Teach manages to drop down a blocker or 2, then this could get a bit ugly. Yeah, but right now, Teach is just playing top deck to top deck.
This is a good top deck. I love how Kuzan just spawns a card out of thin air, and I just realized Yura reverted the he did the Ash Ketchum. He took his what's the baseball cap and flipped it 180, so now it's facing backwards. It's the focus mode, Yura.
Yeah, I understand the image.
Because we got some complaints earlier that it's rude to play on stream with a hat. Did you maybe catch what he drew? I think at this point you really don't care about the later ability. You cannot afford the extra cards. Yeah, this definitely goes hits the Sanji. You cannot afford the extra cards. He actually gets to clear out pretty much everything relevant on the board. He's gonna leave a Shakuyaku alone. Oh wait, he's gonna leave the Boa. Did he top deck another Kuzan? Or maybe a Shiryu?
I actually don't know what's in his hand right now. But going 7k into leader.
It smells like
is
Shiryu.
Going to put... Oh no, just uses leader effect and passes.
Oh yeah, okay. Why kill Shakuyaku over the Boa?
I think he's trying to set up for a situation where you could go for lethal very quickly. Rayleigh now down to 2 cards in life, though he does have a decent amount of counter in his hand that he's been consistently showing thanks to his leader effect. But Teach is on a timer right now, and if he doesn't close out the game pretty soon, then he's going to be in a pretty tough spot.
Trying to find the rush. Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, he
There's a
Oh, I
Luffy,
think is that a
Hancock,
whiff?
Buggy,
Oh,
I
there's a
think.
4 Luffy. There's a 4 Luffy. Okay.
Yeah, so he's forced to pick up the Luffy.
Yeah. At least it's a card with counter though. So he would
Yeah.
prefer any of the events, which is a 2K, of course. But this might actually give him the most value.
I mean, he still has that mole pistol in his hand, so if he is afraid of dying, he can try to take back the board. Still, though, Teach doesn't really have surprise damage, so he can likely just map out how much damage Teach actually has and know if he'll survive or not. So,
Yeah.
hitting leader, baiting what he's going to do with the rest of his dong. Just trying to keep developing board. Yeah, because he doesn't have the unblockable event. Just make sure you have this extra body on the board, trying to get it to stick. Will be able to eventually be able to push through Teach, as he doesn't have any cards in his hand. But at least because Teach has the stage, he will be able to have some sort of control over what he draws. Purely
what?
playing top deck to
He
top
doesn't
deck.
have one plays, yeah. I'm not. It doesn't matter in any case in this position, but yeah, there is no on play for the Luffy. So I'm not sure why the post 2K even. Oh, for Morgan, yeah.
Yeah.
So now Yura
Okay.
is in do-or-die situation.
For a second, I thought that Yura had 3 life, but his hand's just off in
Yeah.
Narnia for a minute.
I mean, the thing is, Yura is assuming there's a to never doubt, which we know is not the case, but he doesn't. I wonder if he's gonna gamble, because everything that Thing did would indicate there is no unblockable event. Like, why would you even care about playing the 4-cost Luffy if you had the unblockable? You would just like keep all the counters in hand, and then next turn go for it. So,
yeah.
I think Yura is weighing his odds, because it's pretty difficult to kill Rayleigh from any number of life, even with stronger attackers than the Dokyu. So if he just clears, sets up a blocker, good chances for him. Well, assuming, of course, Thing doesn't top deck or get from live the counter.
Yeah, I mean, but he can't search for it either, thanks to Teach stopping all the leader effects. I think that it is pretty clear the way that Rayleigh has been playing out the last 2 turns, not only not hitting the leader the two turns before, and also playing the Luffy on this turn, has made it clear that he doesn't have the unblockable event quite yet. So Teach still has a chance. Did he see another 5-cost Kazan just now? It seems like it, the fact that he's looking through his trash.
Yeah, those are usually the moments, especially when you played against black decks like Saka or Moria. Which, yeah, whatever. They find the Rebecca, they find the Ecos Moria, and they start looking through the trash. And there's a blocker, so he's going to commit to the strategy. I like this. The only thing he has to make sure of, though, is that his attack into Boa kills the Boa. Because Rayleigh will be incentivized to defend it, so there's no reason for Yura to spare any Dawn.
Yeah, Rayleigh's hand is getting a little bit smaller, but I mean, Rayleigh has some very powerful counter events, so to see if it's going to actually be enough. Gets that clean 1 draw into the wolf onto the board. He's checking his trash before to see if he had that wolf dropped ready, but thankfully he was able to find it in. So, yeah, hits into Hancock, and now it's gone.
Yep.
So now, if Rayleigh top decks, if he finds it, doesn't find it yet. Yeah. So in every other matchup, that boa could translate into. Ooh, this matchup's getting very close now.
Yeah, and this is one that started out very nicely for Rayleigh. Like, Yura's first 2 Dawn were spent on Tempest Kicks, which obviously are not going to be live in the early game against any deck. And now he's slowly weathering the storm and actually has a chance to go for it. Maybe I'm optimistic.
Yeah.
Because his attackers still suck.
He's been doing his best to weather the storm, and it's slowly turning into something. I think Teach probably doesn't have lethal with the feat, unfortunately. So we'll have to try to find a way to survive one more turn. Thankfully, with that Lafitte still on the board, though, he will be able to search for potential options. Don't know how many Sanhwan Wolves he may have in his deck still, but there's one.
There is one. Oh. I think at this point he might have actually gone through his entire deck, because this is like he did several feat searches, he did a lot of stage searches this game.
Yeah.
In theory,
He's been
he
searching
might
a
already
lot
know
now.
the bottom of his deck if he has been paying attention. But I know Yura, and I doubt he was paying attention to that in the early game. He probably didn't expect the game to drag out for this much, because usually Rayleigh has the unblockable, and then you die. But this is a bit of an unusual one.
Yura being gifted many turns. If Rayleigh had the unblockable, this game probably would have been finished 3 turns ago.
Yeah, he would approach the
Just
endgame
playing a
completely
bit more
differently.
aggressively.
Yeah.
Picks up the Maya Begins, though, just looking deeper and deeper into the deck.
Wait, he didn't get the.
No, he didn't pick up the.
Wait, he picked up only 3 cards with Lafitte. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
No, it's revealed. You don't read that.
Picks up the second Maya Begins.
These have a chance of whiffing, because I don't think we have seen any Karibos so far. Oh, it doesn't whiff, but it does bury a Karibo.
Yeah. I'm
He's
curious what
looking
he's looking for, if not a
Kuzan?
blocker. I mean, I would imagine it'd be Kuzunk, but I mean, he should probably know what cards are in his deck still, or at least be able to make some educated guesses based on how long ago he saw this Kuzunk and how many trash.
Why would he not
So-
take the San Juan?
Yeah, I think the Sanhwan Wolf is, I mean, it's just the safer play, if anything, if he's not sure exactly of what's in his deck. But likely wasn't able to see it, so may just be in a spot where he gets a bit greedy. Yeah, picks up the 2K.
What did he draw? So he played the stronger for the draw. Did he find a blocker? Is he?
I mean, he's really big for it.
Oh, he's not. Oh yeah, he was looking
Yeah,
for
he
the
folded.
Kuzans, and he was 1 card off.
Ah,
I mean,
That was unnecessary. He really got greedy for that when he already had like. You wanted Kuzan to grab the San Juan, so why not just grab the San Juan?
oh, for the first time ever, Yura actually starts with stage in hand. So that is definitely what he's going to be looking for if you've ever played Reiju as well. The stage is really what you're looking for. And Teach, just starting to fill up your trash, starting to cycle through your deck early on is going to be very helpful in terms of consistency. Rayleigh, on the other hand, I don't know exactly what you're looking for within this specifically, because your key card in Forecast Luffy is going to be turned off. But did have a lot of searchers in their starting hand.
Yeah, the more rushers, the merrier.
Yeah.
Oh, but also, oh yeah, Tukos is actually the most important thing to have. I completely forgot about that, but every time we discuss this matchup, it's like, as Rayleigh, you just find the Tukos, and that's not something they can immediately answer. So you just get to start hitting face. Or you don't even have to... Point is, it's a body that stays, so you can start building like wide without even swinging any of the boards. So you can, depending on how your hand looks like, choose whether you want to keep building before tapping anything, or if you just want to start attacking right away. It's very context dependent, as most things involving Teach are, but yeah, this puts Rayleigh's board in a safer position where he's going to be able to create more bodies despite not having 2/1 costs immediately.
Yeah, that Dokyu that he just added to hand isn't going to be able to take out that Hancock, importantly. So, yeah, a bit awkward. We even saw things like the 2-cost Luffy within Rayleigh's deck. So that being able to come out can be very influential in this matchup, as it's effectively a 2-cost 5,000 character. That also helps you reach the condition for things like 4-cost Luffy, should that stick onto the board.
Yeah, and one thing, Rayleigh, I mean, all players here are experienced. Fink should sniff out that there's a a Kuzan looming to grab that Shiryu that was ditched into the graveyard. And even if there isn't one, the odds that he finds him with stage at this point after going through 2 stage activations and Lafitte is, yeah, that's gonna pop out and kill something. So if you want to minimize the value of that Shiryu, you probably don't want to develop a 3-drop. Just go for a 4-cost instead, which forces Rayleigh to, or multiple 2-costs. I guess that is just as valid.
Yeah. Ooh, has 2 Luffys. Yeah.
He's only going to have one of them survive the turn, though, if there is in fact a 5-cost Kuzan. Did you win?
Yeah, is going to end up being the play.
We have
For
news
sure
of our
here.
first top 8 match. Statis won on green purple against Lucci. Oh wait, Lucci won. Oh, sorry, I got it. Sorry, guys, misinformation. Lucci won. It is a very Lucci favorite matchup, so yeah, I just misunderstood.
But yeah, the Shiryu coming out, as you said, so the Luffy and Hancock are going to be taking out, but at the very least, I mean, one Luffy did stay on the board, and that card is going to be a 2-cost 5,000 character. I do really like this Luffy within the Rayleigh deck. Not only is it a Straw Hat target, and generally your Straw Hat targets are a little bit lower than your other targets in the deck, but also just the synergy within the deck, also having 3,000 power, quite nice for this deck, and especially in this matchup. Just if this Luffy sticks, it's going to be a pretty big attacker. So if Rayleigh can find that unblockable event, he can definitely play more towards the game plan of just hitting face as much as possible.
Oh, we have a result of another match. Mage won against Sleeping Genius. I believe that means we have Apolfi and Lucci so far in top 16, in top 4. Let me just double check that by referencing their deck lists.
Yeah, Lucci never dies.
Yeah, Mage is on up. So the matches we still have playing out are Rayleigh against Teach here, and Rayleigh against Zoro Sanji over on one of the Topka tables. I really wish we could also take a look at their match, but obviously this one is as exciting, at least it has been so far. And we see things going just super wide with all the searchers. It's similar to what Doflamingo used to do in the matchup, where you just drop all the Peronas, all the Sengokus, and you can just go 5/5/5, except Rayleigh has it easier. He gets to just give plus 2k for free to one of them.
Yeah, especially for Rayleigh, these characters on the board are just actually pretty relevant as 1-cost characters. So every single one of these characters are going to eventually become an attacker. Just one less card that Teach has access to. So
we're seeing how,
just getting these small chip attacks is going to be very nice.
Yeah, we're already seeing how quickly this match is progressing. Because people are clapping. I'm not sure for what. Okay, it's not related to the main event. Because at this point we were still in game 1 of the Apolfi against Zoro Sanji match. And the game 1 of this one felt quite grindy with how many turns Teach got without the unblockable event killing him.
Yeah.
But even then we're only 33 minutes in compared to the lengthy match we endured in top 16. Or that you endured mainly, because for me it's normal time, for you it's like 3 a.m. at this point, I believe.
It's okay. The Red Bull's doing a lot of work for me. But yeah, really deciding to take out the Doc Q. Just trying to make sure that he can keep these 1-costs on the board for as long as possible. And yeah, just going to buff up the buggy. Just try to get these chip damage at leader where you can, to make sure that Teach's hand is low enough that it makes it awkward for them to use their leader effect, and also
And this
end up
gets a 2K.
eventually taking their life.
This is where this search event really starts coming in handy. Its best targets are obviously the Rushers, the Zoro, the Kid and Killer. They just amp up the pressure, and once you turn up the heat, it becomes really difficult for Teach of all decks to dial it back down. He will just be putting in 7k and more swings. Oh, never mind. He's just developing. That's also fine. Developing 2 bodies, and if Teach cannot remove 2 bodies, you're coming out positive in the trade over a couple turns. But at this point, I bet I wanted to say Yura feels good, but Kid and Killer came down, so maybe not as good. Now it's the Sanji.
Yeah.
I just want to point out how
Um,
well Johan is making use of the hidden killers. I'm not sure if their timing has been optimal in both games, but he does not stray away from using them just as 5k attacks. He doesn't wait for the plus 2k bonus to ensure maximum value.
Mhm.
He just values having that difficult to take out cost development on the board and getting the extra attack in while there's still time, because he knows he's also on a timer to close this out, because if Teach establishes himself, he's not gonna lose.
Yeah. Basically treating that Kid Killer as a slightly expensive rush throw there, but is rewarded heavily because he decides to take the attack. So 5 or 7k doesn't actually matter because Teach does take that life, going down to 2 life now. Technically, if the Kid Killer survives, it is going to be 7k on turn. But just importantly right now, really just trying to spread board as much as possible to make sure that at least one of these characters stays on the board for him to just consistently keep making hits in the late game.
Yeah, and I just want to say, every time this Lafitte comes up in the search, I think it's a 7-cost Jack. I focused hard on not saying Jack, and I still said it like on 7-cost Teach.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Rayleigh, who took out the Doc Q the turn before to try to avoid this scenario, is going to end up having it happen anyways. Doc Q going to take out the 4-cost Kid Killer, which may force Rayleigh to have to take out the Doc Q once again the following turn with that Nami attack that really wants to be going at leader if it can.
Yeah.
And
So it
Teach
seems-
try.
Yeah.
Yep.
It seems
I'm
the
saying
Sanji
Teach
is going to
trying
be
take back the
leaving.
board as best as possible.
Yeah. So the Sanji is going to be leaving, and the interesting thing that happens when that, because of the Black Vortex, if you pump up Sanji too much, Black Vortex can get insane value because it negates the Sanji attacker, so it loses the 3k bonus during your turn. So effectively,
Uh-huh.
oh, I guess he's not gonna
Oh,
do
yeah.
it. But in theory, Black Vortex on Sanji is minus 7k, which is just
That
like
is quite
crazy.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if Rayleigh has an unblockable event in his hand, because the last Searcher observation hockey that he used, he decided to pick the Sanji over that event. It seems like he does have it. I'm pretty sure he does have an unblockable event in his hand. So unlike the last game where he had to kind of balance between taking board and hitting life, in hopes of him either just having enough damage or eventually finding that unblockable event, he now has the insurance. Sure has that unblockable event, can easily play towards that game plan of just trying to simply get Teach down to 0 life and break through with that event in the end.
Do we know anything about Mako G up yet? Let me check. Is Mako G Mage the one who is in top 4? I don't have access to like the full standings at the moment. I can probably find them. Well, let me just see where it is. If you mean Mage, he's in top 4. If you don't mean Mage, I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how to check either. Yeah, Mage is in top 4. The Applefy player. He beat I forgot what he was matched up against. I believe Ray. No. What did he play against? I listed it somewhere. Let me check in the comments.
Ooh,
I believe he
Teach
played
is
against
starting
Green
to
Purple.
get control of this game.
So both Green Purples actually lost their top 8 matches. And yeah, Teach is feeling quite comfortable. Is there any, like, he can, I guess, minus power the Van Augur to not eat a hit, effectively making Morgan a counter 2k. Not the worst option if he doesn't plan to use Morgan, and if he's not going to be able to keep board, there's not going to be any value to
Yeah.
that Morgan anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that he's really in a situation where he has the time to use Mulgam anymore. So if it is that,
Wait,
it's
that's the
King Kong
KO.
battling.
Is it 5k or 6k? In any case, enough for
I believe
anything,
it's
man.
5k less. Yeah.
Oh, I'm actually not sure if this is a net positive for Rayleigh, because now, if Yura didn't have the... I'm forgetting the name of the character. Shiryu in trash now for Kuzan, now he does have it. That's like one of those things that also was relevant always at Lucci and Sakazuki against Agrodex. When you play the Lucci and then he attacks and then they kill it, either with an effect or by attacking into it, and then you have it for Rebecca and then you do it again. Like, even if you had the only Lucci, sometimes they just let you have the second one by killing it when they shouldn't. And I'm wondering if this might be a case of the same. Because I wasn't following Yura's trash throughout the game.
It could potentially be so. I don't think that teachers tend to run too many copies of that Shiryu. So having that back in trash, if he does have the 5 cost Kazan, which we do see in his hand, then he could have that as an option. Yeah. Setting it on top of his trash, indicating he may be thinking about that as well. But also thinking about the Sanhon Wolf, there is also the other angle. I mean, really did end up triggering the card to get rid of the Shiryu, but just holding onto that card for the extra damage to just pump up Shakuyaku into range that it's actually going to be very threatening as an attacker, as it could potentially stay on the board should the Shiryu not come out.
Is
Could
he
have also
gonna
been a
bring
nice
out the
angle as well.
Shiryu?
But
Oh, he is. Yeah, just take off that extra attacker. The very low investment from Rayleigh to take an extra card from your hand and hope you don't die to 2 doubts, or at least that you can finish the game on the next turn with the attackers you already have.
yeah, and Teach is really starting to control this game. Even if Rayleigh has 2 unblockable events, if he were to swing twice to try to finish the game with the next 2 turns, he may just not have enough defense to deal with the surprisingly large board that Teach has been able to create. So think about what he's going to do. He does have the 4-cost Luffy and I believe a 3-cost Sanji in hand. So, oh no, it's Kid Killer. So actually pretty nice here. Just trying to create as many hits as possible to try to break through to get him to 0 life to eventually finish out the game with that unblockable event next turn.
Yeah, because Yura does not want to overinvest the counters on this first swing, because then he's exposed to another rush and has to block the smaller swing anyways. And if he takes, then the unblockable event actually ends him on the spot. So I think this is the timer Yura anticipated to face anyways. I wonder if he had the counter in the hand, because if he did, then he probably shouldn't have blocked with San Juan. He still has a way to survive with the blocker if he can find another Black Vortex and have enough counters, but I somehow suspect that to not be the case.
It's a very tricky line, but compared to the first game, it is night and day how Rayleigh's playing. He very clearly has that unblockable event in his hand, so I'm sure that Yura is also reading that as well. He does have a Black Vortex in hand. The other cards are flashing by very quickly, so it's hard to tell what they are, but there's a 10-cost Siege, which is not going to be very relevant here. So yeah, just decides to cut it with the Sage. Picks up a Lafitte, which was doing a lot of work in Game 1 when we got into a very grindy game state. But this game seems to be going a lot faster than Game 1.
Yeah, this is the point where he needs to calculate, because if he can find another Vortex, maybe he can get away with not even bothering with the blocker, just having enough counter in hand to guarantee survival. But he needs to decide that fairly early in the turn whether he commits the Dawn to the Lafitte or not. I guess at the very least he can always swing Shiryu without knowing that he's not going to be resorting to any other options. But if he's going for game, I'm not sure about the 7k start, because that just plays into Conqueror's Haki perfectly.
Yeah, 7k start is always a bit awkward versus Rayleigh, because it just makes it's just free value essentially for Rayleigh.
It
Now all the
breaks my
characters on board
heart.
are minus 1k as well.
He's still kind of fine. He can pivot to try and survive if Rayleigh has too many defenses, just because he has the Tempest Kick, so he can Tempest Kick Dokyu and still get out at least one Lafitte Surge. But he would need to draw 2k and have like another Black Vortex found by the Lafitte, and then he would have 10k. I think we see a 1k in his hand. Is it the 6-cost Kuzan behind the Tempest Kick?
It's hard to tell. No, it's Lafitte.
Oh, is that another Black Vortex? Did he just top deck it? I think I just saw it. Like,
We'll see in a second.
he finds a 1k?
Yeah, he's likely just going to pick up that Shiryu. Yeah. And... Oh,
He does
that might
have
be 2 Black Vortexes.
Yeah, he has
You
to.
might be right. Yeah.
Oh, and he finds a 2k as well. Oh, he can actually survive.
He
He gets a
he's
full
gonna
turn extra.
survive this turn. Oh my god. Yeah, and then now he just needs to set up to make sure that he can win in the following turn, and then
Neće ostati komentirat sa mnom kad kaj ode spavat. As you slowly fall away to sleep, I'm looking at potential replacements for the stream purposes. So yeah, he had to leave 2-Dawn open for the Black Vortices, meaning he couldn't attack with the leader because of Conqueror's Haki reducing it to 4k. Slightly unfortunate. A price paid with that 7k swing with Augur to begin with. But now he should be pretty safe to survive unless there's... Let me see. So how many... That's 1, 2, 2... Is there 4 cards in Yura's hand or is it 5? They're flashing by so quickly. I think it might be 5.
It looks like a 5-card thickness.
Yeah, so 2 1k is 2k. So he has 12k counter. So he just dies to 2 Arms Haki. Right? 2 Arms Haki or Arms plus Gatling. I'm not sure if he should have used the leader ability in this. Okay, he survives. He has exact. He has exact.
Now you are 8, 7.
It may have actually come down to not triggering that Gum King Kong Gatling the turn before. Or, yeah, a couple of turns before.
True.
If he had that in his hand, he would have had a lot more damage on this turn, guaranteed to be able to kill him if he...
then there would be a Shiri on board. There would be a Shiri on board, so he would probably just be dying this turn in that position. Because that's the full extra attacker that the card took out.
I didn't have to do unblockable event this time.
In some situations. It's kind of actually similar to Arlong in Zoro Sanji, where, yeah, against Green Zoro it's insane, but sometimes against the unblockable rally attack, you're just delayed by a turn. Oh, I like how he grabbed the Dokyu before even seeing the third card. Like. That's classic Yura mannerisms.
It almost felt like a speedrun strat. He just did like a big time skip there. But yeah, Rayleigh deciding to go second here and also decided to keep his hand well his. So feeling pretty good about this early game despite losing the last game with this exact opening. But still, the 2-cost Hancock is probably going to be the best thing that you can play on this turn because the turns after this, it's not going to be able to use its on-play effect. And as we about in game 2, these 2 costs like that Luffy are going to be very, very nice.
I think he's actually going to have the exact same curve. I think he has 2 2-cost Luffys in his hand and none of the 4 costs. So we'll be seeing some repeat of history. And I'm wondering if Yura is going to be more partial to keeping those Black Vortices around in this match simply because of how they won him the previous one.
Yeah, it's tricky to say because I don't know how common that scenario is where you actually go down to 0 life and need to counter out of hand.
Oh,
a lot of times when you have blockers on the board. Yeah.
Well, he's debating between the Kuzan, but you always take the Kuzan. Yeah. What I wanted to say was to really give props to both players. It has been a long day, especially for them as they're playing Top Cut, and they're both playing very mentally taxing decks. Like, we played 2 games, and they have both been quite a grind. And they're still holding up, like, not making any major mistakes, sticking to their game plans, to their testing. So yeah, they've both done quite well today. They won the big prize, the cereal, and now they're mainly playing for honor, and maybe if they won the winner playmats. I think Yura especially wants to get to the second place playmat featuring all the Blackbeard cards, but we'll see how that all ends up going. See, I wonder what happens if, as Rayleigh, you just give 2 cards to defend here, and you just go face, because even if you don't achieve the win condition, or like, if you completely lose control of the board, you are very near time. You're 7 minutes from time, and these games have been going on for quite a while. So if you can just get the opponent down to 0 and put him in a position where he has to like play defensively and cannot touch your life, maybe you can just win off of the time drawing near. That's why a part of why Yura is playing so fast. He doesn't want to suffer by the time rules. Though I'm a bit surprised he picked to remove the Boa and not the 2-cost Luffy, who makes himself 5k for basically free, meaning a 7k swing at least.
Yeah, a very similar start to the game before.
And here's the 7k swing, but yeah, the problem is now Kid and Killers
Yeah.
can start coming in and wreaking real havoc.
Mm-mm.
On the flip
Yeah,
side,
I actually really like. I like that he left the Duck Q on the board because he played 2 buggies and a Luffy. So even if he takes out that Duck Q, or if he doesn't take out the Duck Q, it's really difficult for Teach to actually manage to deal with all of these. So using the big attacks while he has them and Teach doesn't have blockers to just try to get Teach as low as possible in the early game to
this-
hopefully close out the game faster than he did the game before.
I'm surprised he doesn't opt for the 6 cost Kuzan, but I guess he's just not gonna play it at all. He's looking at going for full board
Even 'cause
control.
Teach
Like,
coming out. Yeah.
what's interesting is now Rayleigh is on a complete hit face mission. He can just go 7 with Buggy, 7 with Leader, and then
Yep.
7 with Kid and Killer, and just probably put Yura to 0 and finish the game next turn with an unblockable. Because when this is on board, you just ignore the board. There's no point even trying to contest the triple on KO effects. That's why I was surprised that Yura opted not to just go for 6 cost Luffy. Sorry, 6 cost Kuzan. When he dies, you revive the 5 cost Kuzan and you redirect at least some of your opponent's attacks into the 5 cost Kuzan, effectively getting a double block. Because if they don't do that, at least the Kuzan is going to throw you an extra card. This Teach is never getting touched, and there's no way you win the race off of just the bodies you have on board at the moment. So I'm not sure I like this approach taken by Yura. But as I said, it's a very mentally taxing deck to play all day. We're sitting here just talking, and backseating is a lot easier than playing the tournaments.
Yeah, for sure.
What?
Potentially Teach maybe having the read that really surely 3 games in a row won't be able to find that Kid and Killer. So potentially relying on that as well. Will defend the first one with 2 2Ks.
Ooh. Okay,
but
this
will
is some
be put
alarm
down
bells
to 1
ringing
life.
because he will be trying to close out the game with the unblockable as soon as possible, but
Yeah.
Yura can just hit face as well. Like he has the attackers, and when I said you cannot win the race, I assumed in that Rayleigh is building a board as he plays. But if Rayleigh is just passing with the same buggy he already had, Wait, he just resolved it wrong.
You looked at 3 with Latif.
Okay.
So, top 2.
That's with Lafitte, this is bottom, so I look to board.
Yeah. Especially in these high stress situations with only a few minutes on the clock. But we do have extra time as it is game 3. These players trying to play out very quickly to make sure that they don't need to worry about the time as much as they can make some mistakes, especially with these very similar searchers that have slight differences like the number of cards that you can look at.
Yep.
Still going to move on with the game. Both of them just hitting leader, both racing each other in this final game. We may actually be able to finish within the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, and Yura already showed he can survive 1 unblockable hit in previous games. He has the same engine established as he did previous game. He has the Lafitte to search out the extra counters, maybe the extra Black Vortex. The only thing is he knows one Black Vortex is in the trash from a very early search when he grabbed the 5 cost Kuzan. So I'm not sure how, whether he knows where the second Black Vortex is. And for Rayleigh, it's probably just 2 unblockable swings. He only has 1, I believe, in hand, but he has the rushers, no?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he just drew that unblockable event. So, I mean, very happy to see that right now. But debating what he's going to do. I think that the last turn where he committed to just swinging with his leader and not actually developing board, although he didn't really have many things that he could develop, has kind of set the pace of this game where if he doesn't end the game very, very going to basically be able to race him.
Yeah, especially now because while he still has the Black Vortex, if there's only one rusher coming down, he can block the rusher swing and counter the other, and then he's still on 1 life, and then the unblockable event doesn't matter. So if he can counter, yeah, if he can counter this cleanly or just block it. The reason this is a bit risky is if now he goes full face with the rusher. Yeah, here he's just kind of relaxed. By he, I mean Teach. In quite a good position, full board control. I really underestimated overestimated how much Rayleigh is going to be able to put on the board to pressure Yura further. As it stands right now, Rayleigh's in the one in the driver's seat, and Teach gets to blow up the Zoro for free, find more counters. He's looking at 3 again, like.
It's okay. He corrects it. Yeah, but I mean, really, in the first 2 games, very calm and controlled, being able to not overextend, just playing out the characters where needed, and
Oh, and he finds another cooldown, so he's gonna have a blocker again.
Yeah, the resource advantage that Teach has been able to accrue over the course of this game is really nice too.
What I'm thinking about now is whether the 7-cost Teach should have popped the Zoro instead of the Van Augur. Because if Van Augur does it, then you have a bigger attack coming into the... Sorry, if Van Augur plus Doku, I mean, does it, then you have a bigger... bigger hit into
I
life.
can see that.
But he's slowly chipping away. So the problem is this is turn 0, as they just end their time. So Yura is only going to have the next turn to try and get in a better position than Rayleigh, but I think he is not going to be able to finish the game, and him not swinging with the 7-cost Teach might be a part of that. Because if Rayleigh just puts him to 0, Yura actually needs to kill him, because I'm pretty sure Rayleigh has way more cards in deck than Teach at this point because of the stage and all the searches. And because if he doesn't kill him, they're both on 0 life, and the next tiebreaker is the number of cards in deck. So Rayleigh, okay, I don't like that Rayleigh spent the unblockable event, because if he just puts Teach to 0 with the unblockable, Teach basically has to kill him next turn, which I don't think should be possible.
Yeah, interesting. So, I mean, so the overtime rules are just you get a flat 10 minutes, doesn't matter how many turns, or is it
No, so it's 10 minutes
X number of turns?
or 4 turns total, starting with the current turn. So
Interesting.
it's 0, 1, 2, 3 for the turns. This is the first turn of Teach, then... first turn of Rayleigh, then Teach has his last turn, and then Rayleigh has his last turn. And at the end of Rayleigh's last turn, the...
Then it comes down to... life, deck. Yeah. Okay, yeah, then if you were to... I mean, it is a very... maybe underhanded tactic to just put Yura down to 0 life and win that way. But, I mean, it is an option, and if you're trying to win the tournament, that is within the rules.
Yeah, I mean, that's how the rules define it. There's not really much you can do when playing at this point. Yeah. So, Yura very clearly committing to going for game next turn.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, if he can just block 2k here, which I believe he can, he's not in that bad of a position to actually end with this massive Burgess looming over the board.
Yeah, I mean, that is a really, really big Burgess. So, yeah, I mean, defends it out of hand anyways. Is going to try to finish the game next turn. Really, with 3 long up, is going to try his best to survive. But Burgess at, seems like 10k, but he's recounting his trash to make sure. And also 4 other really big hits on the board.
Yeah, and he's gonna use stage, dump the hand.
Yeah. And you could even use your leader effect just as many times as you can to just
gonna dump the hand. So...
Yep, okay. Gets into the extra threshold, so now Burgess at 11,000 power.
And now it's about math, but I think we saw Rayleigh already has Radical Beam and 1 Conqueror Saki, so if I'm Rayleigh, I think Actually, no, I'm not gonna make any statements when there's 5 attackers on the other side of the board. But starting with the Teach, that's gonna be countered very nicely by that Radical Beam, I believe.
Yeah. Definitely really wants to use the Conqueror's Haki early on so that he gets the full value out of that -1 to the entire board. But hitting at 8 makes it very awkward, but it is very cleanly within the range of Radical. So maybe looking to do that.
Oh, he decides to
Goes
use
for the
Haki
Conqueror's Haki.
immediately.
Yeah.
And the
So, I mean,
1K?
-1 to the entire board, and will need to cut 1 extra.
Oh wait, this
That's
is a
2K
terrible
now.
counter. What? Why would you do it like this?
Yeah.
Because now you don't
Okay,
have.
so now, yeah. Now Teach just needs to kind of chip away at really.
Yeah, now he just has to calculate. So 2, 2, 3. Depending on whether he wants to attack with Lafitte, he just goes 7 here now. Oh, he's going 8 again. So he is playing into the Radical Beam.
Yeah.
I am unhappy with this development. But maybe he's
I mean,
expecting.
he's expecting really to just have another Conqueror's Haki in hand, but he is playing into the Radical Beam in doing so.
Actually, I'll have to sit down and calculate to see what the best line is. But at the very least, Rayleigh only has 2Ks because he gave you the Sanji instead of 1K. So it makes more sense to abuse the line, which punishes 2Ks. So maybe I wouldn't even be mad if it was a 5K swing at this point. But he basically has another big swing that to take that second life and try to finish before. Let's see, it's another Conquerors and a Radical Beam.
Yeah, I mean, intuitively, I think that 5 or 7K would make the most sense. I would feel inclined to go for 5K, but because he has 2 life, you do kind of want to try to get these Zacks to actually go through. Next Sunhorn Wolf is going to be hitting at 8K once again. Here's the Conqueror's Haki. Now everything is -2K'd, which for Burgess still means that he's 9K. But
And
there's the Radical Beam in the end.
Ray takes it in
Yeah.
the end. Think winning 2-1 and what was a very tense match.
All 3 in hand.
Down to the wire. Let me see if the other top 8 match finished, if I can glean the result from the app.
If I didn't.
Did he have the Conqueror's Haki from the start of
Luka
that?
won, so we'll have Zoro Sanji in top 4. Just yeah, he had the second Conqueror Saki in hand.
Okay. I think I mistook that with Armament, or no, Armament, the Searcher
Observation?
Haki.
Yeah, observation.
Observation, yeah.
All right, all the top 8 matches are finished. I need to take like a